Thank you, Chairman Barrasso, Ranking Member Carper, members of the committee. My name is Bill Crapser. I serve as the Wyoming State Forester. I'm also the immediate past president of the National Association of State Foresters. Through the 2008 Farm Bill, state foresters were tasked with developing state forest assessments and action plans for all ownerships, including federal. In 2013, our governor, Governor Meade, commissioned a task force on forest. This was a diverse group of Wyomingites who worked collaboratively for over a year to create a vision for our forest. The task force's #1 recommendation was to endorse and implement the strategies and direction laid out by our State Forest Action Plan. In Wyoming, our State Forest Action Plan identifies the areas of greatest risk for catastrophic wildfire as well as insects and disease. Much of these at-risk forest areas are on federal land managed by the USDA Forest Service. For a variety of reasons, the Forest Service has not treated the majority of at-risk forested areas as identified in our plan. Much of the challenge for federal managers is due to overly burdensome environmental regulations that are, in many cases, doing more harm than good to Wyoming's forests. Frankly, we're quite frustrated. It's not just federal lands that are impacted by this lack of active management. Wildfires and insects and disease know no boundaries, and virtually all catastrophic wildfires in Wyoming burn through multiple ownerships. The Wildfire Prevention and Mitigation Act of 2017 addresses many of the regulatory challenges our federal partners face. Arbitration to resolve disputes would be helpful. The use of categorical exclusions for forest at risk or wildfire and forest needing habitat improvement would also be helpful. The ability to use CEs or categorical exclusions for making decisions on salvaging burned and beetle kill timber so that the wood will still have value when sold would be most helpful. Expansion of the Good Neighbor Authority that has been a huge success so far would really be helpful. There is an increasing opportunity through this authority for states to implement federally approved projects, NEPA completed, with state personnel. We applaud the bill's sponsors for this thoughtful piece of legislation. NASF has a policy platform with specific and detailed federal forest reform. A copy is attached to my written testimony, as well as a Forest Resource Committee and Fire Management Committee comprised of state foresters from around the nation and could offer assistance to these important issues. We believe we can help the committee in fine-tuning the details of this bill. In addition, we'd ask that the committee consider language which would encourage federal managers to consult their state forest action plans and to work closely with state foresters to ensure federal resources are focused on the highest priorities. While regulatory reform is a significant part of today's challenge in addressing our overgrown and insect and disease-prone forest, there are other factors that would help as well. We need a solution to the way federal wildfire suppression is funded. This fire season has been one of the most devastating in history. The Forest Service's budget for fire suppression has grown from less than 20% to more than 50% of the agency's total budget. This will have repercussions not only on federal land, but for the funding of state and private forestry programs across the country. These programs include state fire assistance and volunteer fire assistance, which fund much of the nation's initial attack on federal lands. In Wyoming and across the nation, a private forest landowner who works with our staff and has a forest stewardship with the Forest Stewardship Program is almost 3 times as likely to manage his forest as a landowner without a management plan. Helped by state fire assistance and volunteer fire assistance, every county in Wyoming now has a community wildfire protection plan. Also, much of our wildland fire equipment and training, which we use to respond to both private and federal fires, comes from this program. In addition, through the support of community forestry programs, half of Wyoming's communities are designated as Tree City USAs. This has a huge impact on the quality of life, stormwater control, air quality, and carbon capture in these communities. Again, we applaud the Chairman and the Environment and Public Works Committee for making the health of our federal forest a top priority. I know the nation's state foresters stand ready to work with you to address these most important challenges. Thank you.